Yasya prasadagyopi sadhyak sarvagatam rajet sa Shri Chaitanya Deva me Bhagavan Samprasidatu Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 On this sunny Sunday, we are studying text 7, which reveals to us, by Rupa Goswami's grace, how to get the nectar and how to turn something bitter into something sweet. So, if you already experience unlimited sweetness, then this verse will just confirm the sweetness you are experiencing. And if your chanting is sometimes not completely blissful, or sometimes if you experience some either difficulty or boredom or whatever other obstacles, then this verse gives us very valuable advice about how to overcome whatever obstacles or problems you may have in our chanting. And according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the Yuga Dharma? What is the most effective way to achieve perfection in this age? It is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Rupa Goswami says that Tunde Tamdadini, that when I start speaking the holy name, I desire that I have millions of tongues. When I hear the holy name, I desire to have millions and millions of ears. And then when it enters my heart, it starts dancing in my heart and overfloods my body with complete ecstasy, and I become stunned. So this is our experience also. So when we start chanting, we want to have millions of tongues to taste the holy name, or at least. And when we come to the 16th round, we say, "Oh no, already, and no, let me chant a little, just a few more." How can you stop it? Just now, as it just begins to be tasty, you are stopping. No, we will continue. Sometimes, you know, it says it's such a nectar, and when we are chanting, it feels like we are, you know, chewing sawdust. How do you say it? So, you know, when you saw wood?
Sägespäne.
Sägespäne, okay. So when you saw some wood, then this dust is falling, and you know, it's like chewing that sawdust, you know. And that is even fortunate. If it tastes like sawdust, that is fortunate. Because that means you are at least trying to taste something. You are at least paying attention at what is in your mouth. Right? Because I can also just you know, do something else, and you know, there is click, 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 or Hare Krishna, or just you know, next. So when it feels like sawdust, it means at least I'm conscious of what is in my mouth. At least I'm trying to, you know, to remember that I am chanting something, and at least I know that it's at least supposed to be like honey. And I'm not feeling the honey, so I feel some sawdust. We don't hear what we are chanting oftentimes. You certainly may have heard this joke about a devotee dying, and then after he dies, he sees he goes to some smoky planet, and then he sees two huge monsters with distorted bodies, with fearsome features and very, you know, knotted faces. So he says, "What is this? I am a devotee. I've been chanting my whole life. Who are you?" So they say, "I am Sneak, and he is young." You've been worshipping us your whole life. Sneak, sneak, yum, yum, yum. Sneak, 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 yum, 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 yum.
Sneak in there.
Sneak and yum. Well, this is just, you know, some scary tale. Give us some fear of God. In fact, this is it's a fact. I once discussed with Niranjan Swami. I told him that I want to maybe have some workshops on the holy name, so that devotees at least have some techniques, whether they use them or they don't use them. At least they have the arsenal. They are equipped with a sufficient array of different methods by which we can improve our chanting. So he said, yeah, he thought it's a very good idea. And then he thought a little more, and then he said after a while that he thinks that the biggest problem in our chanting for devotees is that devotees don't have enough fear. We are not afraid of Maya. This is the same as what Prabhupada was saying. He said when he asked Prabhupada, what are you praying for when you are in front of the deities? So Prabhupada said, I am praying to Krishna to please protect me from Maya. And they said, oh, Prabhupada, why? How can Maya touch you? You're a pure devotee. So he said, I am always afraid of Maya. That's the difference between me and you. Meaning that the devotee is trying to be aloof from Maya. Also, Sri Vishwanath in the 10th canto, when we have a description of the 6 sons of Devaki who were killed by Kamsa before Krishna. So then Sri Vishwanath asks a question, how is this? These are brothers of Krishna, how could they have been killed by Kamsa? Well, how is it possible? Then he gives some background. He says that these 6 sons were the 6 enemies of the soul: the kama, krodha, the lust, anger, greed, and illusion, pride or mada, and the pride, mada or madness. So the same word, mada, madness. And the main manifestation of pride, of madness is pride. This is the main manifestation. This is the most intoxicating thing in this material world. Srila Prabhupada said that compared to the false ego, all the other drugs like heroin and whatever else, LSD, are like pepper and salt. That's their power compared to the false ego. But the false ego, we are in total delusion, and our reality is completely distorted. So these are 6 enemies that may appear in the heart of the devotee before Krishna appears, as we also discussed previously. And Kamsa, if we transfer the parallel in the devotee's heart, so these 6 sons, they correspond to the 6 enemies in the heart of the devotee. And Kamsa, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, corresponds to devotee's fear of material existence. And this fear of material existence helps the devotee to kill these undesirable pretender Krishnas. Some lust may come in the heart, or some anger may come in the heart, and we think, yeah, this is for Krishna. This is it. This is what I'm looking for. But if we have a healthy fear of material existence, then this healthy fear will help us to stay away, not to fall into this murky, dark stream of these 6 things, and continue with our bhakti. And then Krishna comes and he kills Kamsa. And Krishna himself comes, he kicks out that fear of material existence. It happens by Krishna's sweet will. So there is a healthy fear of material existence. There is a healthy fear of rebirth. When we are in a good situation, it's sunny, it's clean, everything is nice, so we think it's not so bad. Especially if you're a little sattvic, then you are happy. You are happy, and you know. You understand, and therefore you're more or less free from gross miseries. And there is a tendency to think, yeah, okay, everything, Krishna consciousness is nice, yeah, we should continue, definitely. Yeah, but it's not so bad. Everything is okay. Peace of sattva. However, even in sattva, that's what Krishna says, even from Brahmaloka, even if you're in Brahmaloka, which is an amazing place, really amazing place. Everything is amazing there. Things there are made out of intelligence. So here we have this wooden table. I don't know what this is, oak or whatever is this. But there you would have things made out of intelligence. And that means that they can change their shape. Like if you need, this table would immediately become transparent, or if needed it would immediately turn into the rose bushes, fragrant rose bushes. That's what Yudhishthir heard when from Narada. He asked when Mayadana built him this amazing palace, he asked what other palaces are there in the universe. So he described different palaces, and then he said that Brahma's palace, it can change its shape every second, depending on the needs and the moods and the thoughts of the inhabitants. But even Brahmaloka, Krishna says, Abrahma Guna Loka Punar Avartinarjuna. Even from there, there is a rebirth. Even there, it's still within the material world, and we are still not with Krishna. So we can use some healthy fear in of the material existence. And sometimes Krishna has to help us to get a little healthy fear or distaste for material existence. And then we sometimes may be more serious about seeking the spiritual taste. So text 7, these are the two texts which are right in the middle of the nectar of instruction. Text 6 was describing how a devotee is transformed at the platform of Nishta by developing a respectful vision to all the devotees. So we discussed 6 loving exchanges. If you remember, we discussed how everybody can engage in some loving exchanges. So, who can recapitulate these 6 loving exchanges in one word each?
Tell and ask, give and get.
Give and
take.
Get. Give and take. And what was the first one? Ask and
Feed and
oh, feed and feast. Okay, feed and eat. Yes. Okay. And the third part? Share and
speak. Tell and ask. Hear. Listen.
That's one side. And the other side is
Share.
Share, tell,
listen.
speak, listen. But before you listen, you have to do something.
Tell.
Well, what do you tell?
No.
Dadati pratigrihnati guhyam akhyati prichati. To listen, what do you do? Huh?
accepting.
Accepting. How to make another person speak? Ask. Yes. Ask. Thank you. So tell and ask, share and ask. Prichati is ask. Ask the question. Thank you. So very simple to remember. Give and take. Tell and ask. And feed and eat. So these are the 6 loving exchanges. And what are the 3 categories that we respect in different ways according to Sri Rupa Goswami? So which one is described by Rupa Goswami? Yes, in the text. 3 different levels. Which one Rupa Goswami? Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, and according to which criterion does he speak? Yeah, Diksha, yes. So one who chants the holy name at least once, and then one who has accepted the vows and is worshipping he's been initiated into the mantras, and he worships Krishna. He worships the deity, and he has some Vandagam. He understands who Krishna is. And then the highest is one who has full knowledge already. He has achieved the perfection of Diksha, Divya Jnanam, and his Sarvapapa Sanshaya, Ksha, all sins are destroyed, and that manifests in that he has no tendency for criticizing anybody. So these are the three categories, and which of these three categories we respect?
All.
Okay, all three. Difficult to catch you. So we respect all three. Even if one has chanted only once, Manasadriyata, Adriyata, one respects such a person in the mind. Even one time, if somebody chants the holy name. Someone said Krishna, that's already a respectable person. It's coming from Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's the definition given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was asked who is a devotee, who is a Vaishnava. He said, anybody who has chanted at least once, everybody who said Krishna, then he's already to be respected.
Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna. And verse 6 spoke about respect in the heart, that we don't see according to the external body of a devotee. We see that he is a servant of Krishna. He's trying to serve Krishna. We don't see even the subtle body defects of such a devotee. We have some things mentioned like anger or some other habits from the past. And then once we have gone through that, so that means our heart is purified, then we can put to full practice and get the full benefit of verse 7. Let's chant verse 7. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Siddhavya Vidya Pito Pataptara Samasya Nalochikanu Kinkvadaradamudinam Kalu Saiva Jushta Swati Kramat Vadati Tatkadamula Hantri. The holy name, character, pastimes and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So this is the good news, that even if the holy name doesn't taste the holy name, Krishna's lila, etc. So name, pastimes, activities, character, all these things. When we hear, sometimes we feel, sometimes we don't feel the taste, the sweet taste. Sometimes it's even bitter. So Rupa Goswami gives an amazing analogy here with which disease?
Jaundice.
Yeah. Anybody had jaundice here?
A little bit.
A little bit. That's interesting. Your eyes turn yellow, and there are many varieties of this jaundice, and there are more varieties in India than anywhere else. I remember one devotee came from India and he brought jaundice, I think jaundice E, which is a rare variety. We have jaundice A, jaundice B, this very unfortunate C, but he had an E, hepatitis. So when he was admitted to the hospital, then all the professors came just to look at him, because they had never seen him, to examine him. He was a local celebrity in the hospital, having a very, very rare disease. So I remember I was once with a devotee, Nrsimhananda from Canada, who came from India, and then he got one of these jaundice. So he was almost unconscious and he was raving. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't chant. So I was with him in the hospital, and it was interesting. They devotees brought some different things for him to eat, and they brought some sweet yogurt. And he saw this sweet yogurt. There was some sugar in it, and he immediately said, "This no, I don't think I don't want this. This sugar, it is sweet. It is." There is some sweetness. He says it tastes very funny. I don't want it. So, in fact, there is not every jaundice, but there is a variety of jaundice where sweet tastes bitter. When you had jaundice, did sweet taste bitter?
I don't remember that.
Nanda?
Yeah, I was very small.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have all sweet.
Huh?
But all the tastes
Yes,
changed.
that's why it's very sweet. Have a kind of other taste.
What is capsule?
You had.
Yeah, after Yara.
But sweet taste is sweet.
Yeah.
So this is not every jaundice. This is a tropical jaundice. Sometimes other forms of jaundice will also make your attitude towards sweet very funny. But a tropical jaundice can make sweet taste actually bitter. So really bitter. But jaundice is the disease of liver. And one devotee told me when he was in the army service, so he was somewhere in Asia, and he got jaundice there. So how they treated him, they gave him a whole jar of sugar, dissolved this sugar in water, and they told him to sip this sugar throughout the day, because it's the nourishment for the liver. So especially when liver is attacked by hepatitis, it is inflamed, and this sugar, glucose is better, and this sugar is nourishing the liver. So even if the person doesn't feel that he likes this sugar, even if the person thinks that the sugar is bitter, still this sugar is the medicine. And the more he takes, as he becomes cured from jaundice, and gradually this sugar starts tasting not bitter but sweet. So this is what Rupa Goswami is describing, that being diseased by jaundice. And this is the jaundice of what? Avidya, yes, thank you. This is the jaundice of avidya or ignorance. And jaundice, just like jaundice makes your eyes yellow, so in the same way, this jaundice of avidya not only afflicts our taste, that everything that is sweet tastes bitter, but also our eyes are colored. So our vision is colored. So whatever we see is colored by some other color. We don't see the reality. We see something distorted, some distorted reality by ignorance. But as we become cured, then we start seeing things as they are. And the names and pastimes of Krishna, they become sweeter and sweeter the more we take them. So that's a symptom that we are becoming cured. Chanting the name Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hearing about the character of Krishna. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala, he is the lover of his devotees. Hearing about pastimes of Krishna. Krishna is Damodar, he runs away from Mother Yashoda. Activities of Krishna. Krishna creates the universe, and he creates spiders, and he creates also birds.
Humans.
Everything becomes exciting. Everything becomes transcendental sweet by constant practice. So we are given a few hints in this verse how to achieve this better. So what is the required practice to have the cure work really well? Just like a doctor, he can give you a medicine, but he will also give you a diet, and he will prescribe a certain lifestyle. He may say that, okay, you have to take it easy, don't exert yourself too much, maybe lie in bed a bit longer, or on the contrary, you should take walks in the nature. Sometimes you go out in the sun, never go out in the sun, different things. You had a question?
No, I want to answer.
Yes?
Daily.
Yes, Anudinam, daily. Yeah, this is one of the secrets that he is giving. Anudinam, daily. So if you, I remember when I was long ago trying to learn to play guitar. That happened in my life. Once the teachers were saying that it's much better if you practice every day for 20 minutes or half hour than if you practice once a week for 8 hours. It will be more effective if you spend even less time but every day working on it than if you spend even more time but just once a week. So it's a quite understandable principle. When we do something every day, then it becomes our intelligence and mind pay deeper attention to this thing and practice. You had some questions?
No, I also wanted to answer.
The same thing, Anudina?
I just want to say the daily carefully chanting.
Carefully, yeah, thank you. So daily is one thing, another one is carefully. Carefully. So what does it mean carefully? Can anybody find this in Sanskrit? Where do we have this? Huh? Adarat, yes, Adarat. So Adarat and the word Adara literally means honor. So Adara is honor or respect. So Adarat means with respect. So we all know what destroys our chanting. What is the biggest obstacles? The biggest obstacle which spoils our chanting? Disrespect to devotees. Yes, and we recite inattentive chanting, and there are 10 more or 9 more. The offenses, yes. And so we learn the offenses to avoid the offenses, but what is the nature of offense? What is an offense? What's the opposite of offense? Glorify or?
Defense.
Well, that's in military. Offense. But in relationships, what's the opposite of an offense?
Appreciation.
Appreciation, yes. What else? So, if I offend somebody, what would be the opposite of offense?
Excuse. Serving.
Serving. Find good qualities.
Love.
Love. Yes. Huh? Glorify. Okay. And the mood. What do you feel? Huh?
Regret.
Towards a person. So you could either offend a person, be offensive toward a person, or you could be respect. Yes, respectful. Exactly. So an offense is the opposite of respect. So therefore, there is we can remove all the offenses with one stroke, just with one positive attitude, which is respect. Offense means I do not respect the holy name. I do not respect the holy name. But if I respect the holy name, then when I chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, then what does it mean to feel respect? So who is the holy name?
A person.
A person, and what kind of person?
The supreme person.
Supreme person. Do you know some people who are maybe not supreme, but they are quite high? I don't know who is the executive chief in Switzerland, but maybe you know.
It's not rain.
Even you know.
It's not rain.
Yeah, no rules. like, anyway, you probably know Obama. Who? Oh. So, if, let's say, he came for a visit here, and then somehow or other they took him on a, on a tour of Zürich, and then he saw our temple, and then he came in, and if he came into the room, so where would our attention be? Would we, if Obama came into the room, then would we, just yawn? And look, somewhere here, I have to do. Yeah, what will I do today? After that, what would be thinking? How do you think? And it's not even that we have some personal relationship with him. It's not even that we have. It's just that he is a very special person. He's been. He has power to rule a big country. Krishna has allowed him to do that, so he's has some problem. And here, it's not even that. This is not even one small country, not even one big country. It's Krishna. Krishna is ruling not even this earth, not even this whole universe. All the universes. Not even all the universes. He rules much more. He's not actually a ruler. He's not just a ruler. He he's maintainer of all the rulers. He's also the destroyer of everything in the material world, but he's also the lover who has won the heart of Radharani and everybody else. When he comes when he came to Mathura, then even though it was his first visit in Mathura, already ladies heard about him, and they already knew about him, and everybody knew about him. So when they heard that Krishna is entering Mathura, then they dropped everything. Because they dropped somewhere, serving prasadam to their husbands, somewhere feeding their babies, somewhere cooking something, somewhere dressing. And Sri Krishna Chakravarti describes that somewhere, actually even in the middle of their marriage ceremony. It's the same Krishna that's also present when we chant Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada writes, the holy name of Lord Krishna, his quality, pastimes, and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Do you want some bliss? Are we interested in bliss and beauty and absolute knowledge? You want some absolute knowledge? Knowing everything. So, even you see something beautiful, somebody beautiful in this world. Yeah? Like, I don't know how it works for women, for men. If you see a beautiful woman, right? Then you look at her, and then she's beautiful, and then what do you want to do again? You want to look again, and then you want to look again, right? And then you look again, right? So, and this is beautiful here in this planet Earth. And Krishna, how beautiful is Krishna? How blissful is Krishna? So, if we perceive even a teeny little sliver, teeny little drop of this, and if we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, this is so good. Let me chant again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so sweet. How is it? Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
We will not want to stop. We will not be able to stop.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare.
Is it like that for me always? So I can ask my Baba, she's my witness. Do I always chant like this? Well, fortunately, Japa will not tell. How do I chant my wrongs? So, we need to uncover our eyes. We need to get in touch with this nature of the holy name. Somehow, come closer to this, to this. So remove we have the disease, and this disease can be removed at the root. At the root means that you don't have a relapse. Like in India, if you have malaria, then it can come back. How do you know that you have a malaria? Because you get a fever, and it's you're sweating and you're almost unconscious. But then after that you're okay, like 1 or 2 days. But then on the third day, again you get the same fever, and they say that it never is completely gone. Once you had a malaria, it will stay in your body till the end of your life. You always have it. And it can relapse under some circumstances. It can come back. When you are sick or something, it just comes back. But here, this disease of avidya can be cut at the root. So it means that there is no corner in your body where one little microbe is sitting and waiting. And then when there is opportunity, you catch your liver. Try to chew on it again. So it's possible to, because this is the level of nishta, means we are steady. Sometimes devotees are asking a question: why is it that sometimes we are inspired, we have enthusiasm, we have taste, and then another time, and we do everything, and then all of a sudden, 1 or 2 days pass, or 1 or 2 minutes pass, and we feel no enthusiasm. We feel some apathy, or we feel again. I have to finish my rounds. So why? Once one devotee asked this from Vishnu Maharaj, so he said it's just a stage, natural stage. Anishtita bhakti. One day you're flying, another day boom, you're landing hard on the backside. So this is anishtita bhakti, because we are not fixed, our taste is not fixed, our enthusiasm is not fixed, we have not learned the art of actually controlling or directing our mind, using our mind. Controlling means using, right? Not being used by the mind, but actually learning how to use the mind. Anybody tried that switch of the mood attitude in the mind? Okay, for 15 seconds. Yeah, just try to switch it to a positive attitude. And the others, maybe you're already in a positive attitude, so you had nothing to switch from. So maybe. But next time, if you do have, if it happens that you do have some negative attitude, some poisonous attitude, then we have the birthright to be able to change our mood, to switch our mood. So focus on the positive attitude. Thank for something good that you have, and switch to the positive attitude. At least for 15 seconds. There's nothing to lose. If you want to be depressed, just try it for 15 seconds and go back to it, to being sad and miserable, if you like it. But for 50 seconds, try to be in the positive or constructive mood. So, Prabhupada is writing, such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So, anulinam, every day or regular. Just like with the medicine. One of the reasons the world is suffering from newer and newer microbes that are resistant to antibiotics, and they scare us. They say that maybe in some few years we may go back to the times before the antibiotics were discovered, because these microbes are becoming more and more resistant. And one of the reasons is that we are not regular in taking these antibiotics. So when one takes antibiotics, one is supposed to take them regularly, without breaks, and even for a few days after you are healthy. So usually if the symptoms are gone, then we stop immediately. But there are still some few remaining microbes in the body, and it's good to still take for a few more days to make it clean. Because if we make a break, or if we just skip one of the times we're taking this antibiotic, what happens? And these antibiotics become resistant. They develop again, and this antibiotic no longer can kill it, no longer can defeat it. In fact, nowadays they discover antibiotics that they discover microbes that feed on antibiotics. Give them penicillin and they say, ha, this is what I like. And they live on penicillin and things like this. So I also remember my grandfather, he had sometimes some trouble with heart and something else, blood pressure. So my mother, as a doctor, she would bring him some medicine, and then the next time she would come, she would ask, so did you take this medicine? And he would say, yeah, I took it 2 times and it didn't work. I said, oh, Father, please, it's, you have to take it every day for some time. Not just 1 or 2 times. You take once, take twice, you say, oh, it didn't work. That's not how you take a medicine. You change the lifestyle, change the diet, and then you stick to it. You take it steadily for a prescribed period. What the doctor tells you. That's why antibiotics, in many countries, they suggest to make them available only by prescription, or one of the few countries that's funnily is very effective and is practically free from those very strong germs and microbes is Scandinavia, I forgot, is it Norway or Sweden? One of these 2, I don't remember. Because they don't prescribe. So and they administer antibiotics only in a hospital, only under the supervision of a doctor, and only in some special cases. So medicine has to be taken regularly, according to prescription. So this is our recipe. Dr. Rupa Goswami is saying, okay, this is how you take it. And there is a lifestyle, and a diet. And what is the diet? So what is the lifestyle? So he says, avoid these foods. Avoid overeating, don't overeat. Avoid over-endeavoring. Avoid material talks. If you talk too much material things, this medicine will lose its power, will not be as powerful. And avoid material association, avoid material greed, material desires. Yeah? So these are foods you shouldn't take. Like don't eat fried foods, don't eat sour foods, the doctor gives you that. And then please eat more of these foods. Like they say, eat more fruits, at least 5 helpings of fruits every day. So Dr. Rupa Goswami is saying that these are very good. So enthusiasm, every day make sure you get at least 5 portions of enthusiasm, and at least 4 helpings of patience, and at least 2 times a day, a real big plate of confidence and conviction. Fill your mind with this. And also exercise, tat tat karma pravartana. So you chant, you associate with devotees, you follow the lifestyle of a devotee. And very important is the relationships with others and the mood. our exchanges with the healthy people, it's in fact there is some amazing research about relationships and disease and health. So he writes that one of the most important things to help you achieve your health goals, one of the most important things, you will never guess what. He said, of course maybe you will guess after I give the introduction, but do you want to try?
Consciousness.
Consciousness, yeah, he speaks about consciousness, setting clear goals, and but consciousness will play a very large percentage, but there is one more which has an even more influence on your achieving the goals. Regularity, yes, regularity definitely is, knowing how to pace your exercises, how to give yourself rest, and how to alternate different exercises for different parts of the body and so forth. Yeah, that's there, but there's something more important.
Maybe association with other people that engage in...
Exactly. Yeah, social support. Social support. So when we associate with people who are inspired and doing something, also training or exercising. Social support. This is the main thing that is the single most important factor that contributes to a person actually achieving his goals in the long run. Social support. Also, they made a study in America that those who associate with fat people will eventually become fat. They, like statistically, there is a much higher percentage, if you associate with fat, you will put on fat also. And then there was an amazing study also, I forgot where, in England or in America, somewhere. They studied that if you have a friend who is happy, then you will statistically be much more happy in your life. And if the friend lives closer, but this friend has to live closer than 300 or 400 meters. And even if this friend, maybe he's not happy himself, but he has a happy friend for himself, then your happiness will also be increased. Even though you don't know that person, it's a friend of your friend, or a friend of a friend of a friend. But your happiness will be directly influenced if you have happy people, who are in the vicinity, not far from you. It's quite interesting. And we are interacting, we are interconnected.
And the opposite?
Pardon? Pardon?
And the opposite?
Well,
how we protect us from unhappy friends?
Now spread your happiness to them.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes.
Spread our happiness to them, or just accept them as they are. Okay, here's a person who is unhappy, and he prefers to stay so. Usually, it's also a choice, and unfortunately, this is harassing this material world. Also, we sometimes these are people who enjoy being miserable. So that means he's also happy in his own way. Just saying, oh, you know what happened to me? Again, you see, this, it always happens to me. Like one friend of mine. I warn him, don't talk to me like this. But every time he says, you know what, Adi? I have some good news for you. So that means he has some really nasty thing to tell me. I have some good news for you. It's good for you, but not for me. Don't, if you have bad news, tell me it's a bad news. Don't tell me it's a good news. Because good news is good news, bad news is bad news. He's happy that he has something. We're not trying to force another person to change, but if we are accepting them, usually some means person is not happy with themselves and they have developed this strange taste, enjoying these nasty things. It's like sometimes it's like having a walking in the mountains, in heavy shoes for 2 days or 3 days, and coming back, and then you pull off your socks, and you know how they smell. And then sometimes there is a phenomenon, that you smell this sock once, and you say, "Oh," but then you smell it second time again, "Oh." So why smell? If it's "oh," why do you smell it second time? Just throw it away. But sometimes we, this is such a strong feeling that we, "oh." Sometimes we even go to try and say, "oh." And you say, "oh." Why? So the same way in the material world, bad news, bad moods, bad happenings, it's the same thing. It's a stinking sock. So if it stinks, just throw it away, or put it in a washing machine, or wash it, or do something. Why enjoy that? It's called vibhatsa rasa, ghastly rasa. Enjoying these ghastly things. Okay, somebody enjoys that. It's not my rasa. I would not like to join this, this rasa. Yeah, so association. It's very telling, it's significant that even though the Yuga Dharma is chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Srila Rupa Goswami puts his instructions about chanting only after dedicating 3 verses to association. 4 loving exchanges, respecting different grades of devotees, and having a respectful vision to any devotee. He puts this only after here. Only then he gives some important instructions on chanting, on how do we chant. Not before. If you analyze what are our distractions in life and what is our distractions in meditation, this will usually be related with relationships. What are our worries? Usually they will be somehow connected to interacting with the society or other people. That's why you can see also yoga, which is in essence meditation. It's about focusing on the Lord, and devotion or surrender to the Lord, according to Patanjali, is the quickest way to samadhi. You don't even need to practice the whole Ashtanga yoga. If you surrender, samadhi ishvara pranidhana. That's 2 times he says this in the Yoga Sutras. There's only 150 sutras. He says it 2 times that you can achieve samadhi just from surrendering to Ishvara. And Ishvara is not like a jiva. He clearly states, he says, Klesha karma vipaka sayair apamrishta Purusha Vishesha Ishvara. That Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, is a separate Purusha, a different type of person who is never covered, never contaminated by karma, by suffering or ignorance, by material desires, and whose all-knowingness, Tatra Niratishayam Sarvagyatra Bijatam, and his omniscience is unequal. Even a yogi is never so omniscient. Even a perfect liberated person is never as omniscient as God. And then he speaks about surrender. So before he begins all of this, his first rule, the very first rule, the basis of all the other rules, is yama, called ahimsa. Don't hurt others. If you hurt others, you cannot meditate. You cannot even live peacefully, because those who you hurt, either from outside or from inside, you will be troubled. And then ahimsa, satya, truthfulness, asteya, don't steal. If you steal, how can you be peaceful? How is it possible to be peaceful? A thief can never be peaceful. Then brahmacharya, so it's no illicit sex, and especially in bhakti yoga, the grihastas are also brahmacharis, and they follow our principles. And aparigraha, not accumulating more than necessary. So this atyahara we had in the beginning. So these are rules which are about our interrelationships with the world, how we interact with the world. And if we break these yamas, how can you meditate peacefully? So if we do not have normal, healthy, happy relationships with others, how can we chant peacefully? How can we be happy at all, in general? That's why Rupa Goswami dedicates 3 verses to relationships. And only then he comes to the discussion of meditation on the holy name. And he gives very important points here about how to chant. So if we want to improve our chanting, we want to improve our relationships with devotees. And again, as we discussed yesterday, it's our responsibility. It's what we do. So a loving relationship, it's not about having good people around you. It's about what? It's work. And what is this work? It's hard work. Sacrifice. Yeah, sacrifice. It's giving. It's the work of giving. Learning to give. And as we learn to give, we are deriving a very deep satisfaction. Not even necessarily from outside. Usually, also when we are in this mood of selfless giving, then people will reciprocate. Usually, normally. But even if they don't, it's no problem, because the happiness is coming from this mood itself, from giving itself. The sacrifice itself, this work itself on giving to others is so satisfying that you can see that sometimes a child of a father or a mother may not be grateful enough. They do not reciprocate properly. But still, parents continue to love, and they are happy in that love. They feel they don't stop this loving, this giving mood, the sacrifice, isn't it? So this is the work that we can all do, and we discussed that at least there is one thing that we can always give to other devotees, which is, what is that? Kind words. Yes, kind words.
No, smile.
Pardon?
Smile is also good. Smile.
Smile, yes. Yeah, smile, that's how it starts. You can smile. But then you can tell something, some kind words, and that means we pay attention to the other person. What actually, so first we have to notice another person. Sometimes we don't notice another person. So first we notice another person, then we have to pay some attention to see what does this person have. What characteristics this person has. And then we can just tell them some kind words. So please, you can make it an exercise for developing the proper attitude in our heart. To not pass even one day without saying some kind words to somebody, to some Vaishnavas. Can you do this? And this can improve the atmosphere in us, and also it forces us to look at the other person on a more deeper level, what they have. So, and sometimes we think, okay, anyway, he's my friend, he knows, or he's my husband, she's my wife, we are together anyway, so what's there to tell? It's all clear. But even when we are together, we can still try to always find, even if you told this many times, it's still there, right? It's good qualities there. We can say again. Small thing, but can make us happy. Just like yesterday when we were trying to say something good to each other. How did you feel? It makes you feel very good, regardless of how the other person feels. Simple thing. And even if you try, even if you look around, as you walk around, and you are looking for something, what good can I see in other people so that I can tell them about this? It's a very nice vision, isn't it? It's the Vrindavan vision. When you are looking for the beautiful flower-like blossoming qualities, the ornaments of people. So then, if we act like that, then our chanting can be certainly improved. We are getting blessings from the devotees, and our mind is not cluttered by difficult relationships with other devotees. The holy name will work better on our heart. Now, so this is the respect to the name, and it is connected to respect to those who are chanting the holy name. Now you can think, what are your obstacles towards chanting? And you can think, what would be your ideal chanting? So can you maybe turn to your neighbor and tell them what obstacles in chanting do you have? Then how do you think they can be dealt with? What can you do to overcome whatever obstacles you may have in our chanting? What do you think is one or two or three main obstacles to my chanting, to your chanting? And then what are possible ways to overcome them? And then third, what would be your ideal chanting? How your ideal chanting would look like, sound like, feel like, from inside, from outside? What is it? What will you feel? What will you think or not think, and so forth? And so tell these three things, and the other person, your task, before you tell your side, or after you tell your side, you give them good wishes. Tell them, I wish you to get your desire fulfilled in good chanting. Alright? So can you please turn to your partner, find somebody, partner, and then discuss obstacles. What do you think are your particular obstacles in chanting? And then how to overcome them. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is the essence of our practice. This is the heart of our practice. We are, of course, helped by Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
By other devotees. At the same time, our attitude towards the holy name is shown when we are sitting alone and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. What do we think about Krishna? What do we think about the holy name? And from this, I remember what Nirajuna Maharaj was saying, that from this, from our feedback, can come much more than the index finger. Much more can come out. You already have this experience. So we need to give attention to this. We work on it throughout the day. What we are hearing, what we are reading, what are our goals, how do we relate with devotees. This all influences. At the same time, when we find time to spend time with Krishna, some quality time with Krishna in the Mahamantra. This is prime time. This is such a clear time when there is the players are so clear. There is you, there is Krishna, and there is the mind. It's very clear. It's like you are in the ring. Tamil class is here, and it's very clear, and you can work precisely on your relationship with Krishna to develop closer and more loving, affectionate relationship with Krishna, and to come higher, overcoming the obstacles in the mind, overcoming the distracting, unnecessary things that are cluttering our mind from so many lifetimes. So this is the best time where we can do it. And every time we bring the mind back to the holy name, it's a big victory. And Gurujan Prabhu is saying that his method is hear just one mantra. Okay? You don't have to hear 16 rounds or the whole round. If you can hear one mantra, just one mantra. That doesn't sound like something very difficult, does it? Don't think about other mantras, just one mantra. You know? So before every mantra, make a decision. I will hear this one mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And now one more mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if we hear at least one mantra, this is perfection of life. Even when you hear one mantra, what to speak about if you hear 3 mantras, or what to say about hearing 57 mantras. And this is how we advance. When we start chanting, what is the beginning stage of chanting? It's just chanting. Just chanting is already a practice. Just taking the beats and chanting. Now, the clearing stage is when we listen. Try to listen. We try to direct our mind to what we are chanting. That means that we are trying to see what's not only on our lips but also in our mind. That's listening. It means we are engaging our mind in listening. And there are so many different techniques we can employ to listen. So we have a very nice technique from Sachinandana Maharaj, who says arrow. That first align yourself, arrange for a proper place and position, then relationship. Who are you chanting to? Relationship. And again, is Krishna your savior? Is Krishna the source of all sweetness? Is Krishna your friend? Is Krishna your God, your master? Is Krishna your freedom? Who is he for you? Establishing relationship. And then second arrow, ARR, render service. So try to serve Krishna. And then open your heart and welcome the name. So he has to give the mercy. He has to come. So there are many different ways we can practice, many different techniques we can practice. The main thing is we need to do something. Every day we want to try to put in some hard work. Not hard, but hard work for pleasing Krishna, for coming closer to the holy name. And there are different approaches. We are different people, and also at different times of the day we are also different people. There's a left brain approach, right brain approach, about feelings, what you feel towards the holy name, the beauty of the holy name, qualities, pastimes of Krishna, or what Krishna hears, how beautiful is your chanting. Or you can just try to repeat the names, or you can, for me, I'm so dry, I'm so materially ossified, like becoming like a dry bone. That for me, I found that what usually helps me is counting. Like Srila Prabhu was quoting Bhaktisiddhantaji, every morning beat your mind 100 times. So what does it mean? It is 100 times. I tried to count 100 times when I tried to direct my mind towards Hare Krishna, when I heard a little better than before. To count 100 or 108 better mantras, or mantras where I at least tried something, sometimes takes me 6 rounds, 10 rounds, rarely less than 3 to count some better mantras. This is what works for me. It keeps me going, keeps me trying, keeps me, when you count, keeps me trying again and again. Good mantras.
Good mantras.
Or better mantras.
Question raised, how important is the blessings of the spiritual master while chanting?
or what is the difference between one who is chanting without the initiation and one with initiation? So, in this connection.
Well, initiation is like marriage. It means, it shows we are serious. We are going to Krishna and telling Krishna, Krishna, I am ready to take vows in relationship with you. It's like, you know, in that joke, the girl is asking, John, do you love me? Oh yes, my darling, I really love you more than my life. Will you marry me? Please don't change the subject. Don't change the subject. But if we are serious, if we're actually serious, and we are, we will take the vows and we will dedicate our life to the holy name. So yes, and it connects us, but it starts usually before. We are chanting before, and it's there is no limitations for the holy name. And even though for 99.999999999999999% of the people, it's they must have a spiritual master. It begins even before we are initiated. It will certainly begin even before we are initiated, and the holy name will certainly start giving blessings, and we will certainly feel, some reciprocation, because initiation is a process. And there are preliminaries, purashara, and there is after, what you do after initiation. So preliminaries, you're already practicing, you're already chanting, you're already, so that's already an approach towards an initiation. But certainly, it's the club by invitation, so you cannot get into spiritual world without having a spiritual master, without having been connected to Krishna's family through initiation. It's like in Vrindavan, I mean, it's common knowledge that without initiation you may even achieve a very high level in devotional service. Practically you can achieve the limits of Bala, but you will have to take birth again. Otherwise you will go straight to the spiritual world. One will have to take birth again to take initiation, to accept the spiritual master, and to be connected with Krishna's family through this responsible way. So we need blessings, certainly. At the same time, blessings are there, and it's up to us to apply them. All the parampara, they are all eager, they are all waiting, and they are, in some sports event, they are cheering. Yes, do it, make it faster, faster. Yes, try harder. So they are there. Here, Rupa Goswami is saying, yes, a little bit harder. A little bit more respect. Yes, try more respect with here. Yeah, go on, chant every day. Today also. Yes, please. So he is saying this. Go. Yeah, maybe it doesn't sound like that because I'm not hearing properly. Giving all these blessings. So let's try. Let's have our personal collection of methods we are using to improve our chanting. Write it down, and we can also write this in our diaries about our chanting. What was our chanting? It makes us more attentive. And tomorrow let's discuss some of the techniques that you have used today and tomorrow morning before the class, and tomorrow day, to improve your chanting. And maybe we can share some of these techniques while discussing this tomorrow. The holy name is the sweetest of the sweet, and by respectfully and regularly cultivating chanting based on the Vaishnava wholesome relationships, we can get to the ocean of bliss. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare